Hi everyone, welcome to Psycho Theory. I'm Psycho Sorcerer, and today we're talking about emotion. Now, there are many theories as to where emotions come from, how many emotions there are, and the like, but we're just going to talk about the 6 basic emotions that are most commonly accepted, and you can input your model here as you see fit. The 6 basic emotions are love, hate, joy, sadness, excitement, and fear. Now when we look at these emotions, it looks like 6 independent emotions on the outside, but what if I was to tell you that there's really only 3 we're describing here? In the Buddhist way of thinking, positives and negatives are actually part of the same thing. And when we look at these 6 emotions, each one of them has a polar opposite in one of the others. So what if instead of 6, there were only 3? Let's get into it, and then you can tell me what you think. First of all, we have love and we have hate, also known as compassion and rage. First, there's love.
I love you.
I know.
Then there's hate.
You are unfit for duty by any measure. I personally intend to see you stripped of rank and office.
So you can take command of my carrier?
I already have.
On first glance, these are 2 different emotions, but when we really look at it, you can only have one of these emotions when you're focusing on an external source. If I'm thinking about someone or something else. Whenever I do that, I might have a certain appeal for it, or affection, as you might call it, whether that affection be positive or negative. If I have a really high positive affection for something, I may love it. If I have a really high negative affection for something, I may hate it. But in either case, all it is a measure of how much of a feeling I have for something, and then whether that feeling is positive or negative. The stronger the feeling, the stronger the love or hate felt. Let's take a look at our second pair, joy and sadness. First there's joy, then there's sadness. Once again, on first glance, these appear to be completely different things, but both of them represent an internal state. It's your feeling of contentment, how contented you are. If you have a really positive feeling of contentment, then you feel joy. And if you have a really negative feeling of contentment, then you feel sadness. Sometimes even a deep, crushing, horrific, painful sadness. Or welling up beautiful, blissful joy. However, both are just a very positive or very negative charge on what we might call contentment. Let's look at our final pair now. Excitement and fear.
Sam.
Both of these are a strong feeling inside, something that's almost biological in nature, and they both are in reaction to something unknown. Excitement wells up whenever you have a very positive feeling about something that is yet to be proven, and fear wells up when you have a very negative feeling about something that is yet to be proven. Both of these are good indicators in our biology, in our history, to keep us safe. But both are ultimately a single thing, a positive or a negative charge in relation to the unknown. And so there you have it. Conceptually, this theory is saying that instead of the 6 emotions being independent, there's really only 3 types of emotions, each of which can be measured in a positive or negative charge. Different levels of positive or negative charge create the emotional response based on that type. The first type being affection, the second type being contentment, and the third type being surprise. This would mean that at any given time, depending on the various things we're focusing on, we'll feel different degrees of these 3 types of things going on within us. But it's really just a measure of these 3 single emotional types. Now, in my research before doing this video, I didn't find anything to indicate that this is a theory held by other people in the community. It's possible that it's a completely crackpot theory and has no basis at all. In fact, if you're someone who scientifically knows how to disprove this theory, please feel free to enlighten me in the comments below. This is not a video where I'm trying to push my idea, but rather where I'm trying to push conversation. If you're someone who has a different model that shows a kind of different view as to how the emotions work, and you don't see a way that it would fit into these polar opposites being single emotions, put that in the comments as well. It's something that would be really interesting to talk about. Or, even more so, if you're someone who does have a different model but sees how it still works with this, but perhaps with a greater number than 3 types of emotion, put that down there. I think this is a very interesting conversation piece, and I think it'd be interesting to see if more people believe, as I do, that the very strong positive and negative sides of emotion don't define the emotion themselves, but rather just the way the emotion swings. Until next time, safe travels.